Welcome to Orange Lake. Orange Lake is an incredible lake. It's been on like the top 10 best bass fisheries in the nation for quite a few years now. It's the lake I grew up on. So I only live about 25 minutes from here in Gainesville, Florida. This is in north central Florida, but it's a great lake. It's one of the best bass producers in the state. It's about 12,550 acres. It has two creeks, Cross Creek that comes in from Loch Loosa, which is a lake just north of here, and you have Prairie Creek feeding it, and Prairie Creek comes out of Paynes Prairie, which is a preserve, and Noonan's Lake. So you have two feeders that come in and one exit that actually goes out to Orange Springs and into the Ocklawaha River Basin. This all is part of the Ocklawaha River Basin, which is kind of unique to have that little bit of flow. I fished this lake a long time, and I've won, a number of tournaments here. This is a fun lake because it is vegetation. And of course, growing up, you're learning about how to catch fish. So I remember when flipping came out, and I learned about flipping, and we brought it out here to the lake. I was fishing a club challenge. I had 4 fish that went 32 pounds. One of them was a little squeaker. And so I had 3 that went like 30. So what makes Orange Lake so good? There's a lot of nutrients, a lot of food source, and we have hydrilla. We have all the different vegetation, so it's a vegetation lake, but the bass seem to grow incredibly quick. They had a 15-pounder out of here, I think it was 10 years old. So that's what you call rapid growth. And the state of Florida leaves this one alone. They really want this to be their big bass fishery, along with like those lakes in South Florida. So this is one of the best ones. Florida is vegetation. When you come to Florida, you're fishing vegetation, and you just have tons of different varieties of it. So whether you're fishing, hydrilla, whether you're fishing hyacinths, whether you're fishing cabbage, whether you're fishing eelgrass, lily pads, and floating islands, you have every type of vegetation you have in this lake, and that's just really cool. The bass here are like bass anywhere in Florida. We have shiners is one of the predominant. It's a golden shiner. We also have shad. So we have, like threadfin, and it's got a lot of specks, a lot of bluegill. So they eat those also. Plus, what's really cool is in this hydrilla, you can net it up and you'll find lots of shrimp. So they're little, small, tiny little shrimp that are freshwater shrimp that feed the sea system also. And so the aquatic vegetation is primary. It holds a lot more fish. It holds a lot more food, and the food then produces a lot bigger fish. If you come to Orange Lake, you want to have fun, go fishing out here. It's right between Gainesville and Ocala, Florida. So you have motels in Gainesville, you got them in Ocala. You can choose either one. Gainesville's university town. You have a lot of good stuff there to stay and restaurants to eat. So generally we recommend staying in Gainesville because, you've got everything right there. Now this lake can be very busy. I mean, very busy. Access is tough. You have this ramp right here, which is the Marjorie Rawlins ramp, what we call it. We have the Hageberry ramp, which is in the Ocala side, so it's on the south end. And then you'll have 1 or 2 ramps that are fish camps and things like that. Now they are constructing a new ramp, and it's down on the south end. And that ramp has been there, but they're rebuilding it. So Florida's really unique in the sense that, you think of seasonality and season fishing and like, hey, we're going to be spawn and pre-spawn or pre-spawn, spawn, post-spawn and all that. You can go by that, but you can't really go by winter, spring, summer, and that type of fall. You just can't do it because we don't have it. It's kind of like you got one season. It's usually warm all the time, or you get this little cold front in the winter. So a lot of these things happen very fast up north that they don't happen here. So let's start out with what I say is pre-spawn. And pre-spawn, we'll start that season December, January is be a primary pre-spawn. And pre-spawn fishing, you really, I mean, when you're looking at the lake and you wanna, I'm gonna zoom in a bit, I'm gonna put it right there. When you're looking at it, literally everything. They'll spawn here, they'll spawn here, they'll spawn here, they'll spawn there, all over here, all around in here, all over here. Did I leave anything out? They spawn all over this lake, so everything's in play. So pre-spawn, you know, like most of the time you're saying, okay, those fish are moving in from the main lake and they're coming in and they're catching a point here and they're holding up and then they move into the shallow. No, the whole lake's shallow. So what you have is bass hang out in, you know, a lot during the pre-spawn out in these open water areas, but in sense of locations, it really, there is nothing. You try to find something a little bit more unique in the pre-spawn. You want, maybe it's a clump of grass here or scattered grass, you know, where they're holding up, and you know they're gonna be moving to the banks to spawn. They're gonna be moving shallow. Water is not clear unless it's back in a bunch of hydrilla. Hydrilla will filter it and give you clear water. If you're in main lake, it's gonna be kind of a stained and dirty. So they need warmth to spawn. They need the water temperature to get up there in that 60-degree range. And then they need something hard, right, to spawn on, to lay their eggs. So when you're thinking of that, the first thing you think of, lily pads. That's what I think of is lily pads. I'm looking for lily pad roots, any type of hard cover that you can find for them to spawn on. If the water's up, you might find where they can get on a bank, but most of the banks are muddy. So you gotta find something for them to spawn on, and the lily pad roots seem to be the best. Well, what I was coming over here to show you is this right in front of me, and you see that, and that's a floating island. So pre-spawn, big fish love to hold underneath the cover. It keeps them warm. So you'll see big fish underneath this, especially as they move in for the spawn. They're gonna be close to this because you can see the spawn cover. What's under that island is open water again, so it's like having a hole and the bass hang around it. So some different types of vegetation. All this is floating on the surface, so up underneath, you could literally come underneath it and swim out the other side. And that's where the bass hang. Let's just go over baits and the seasonality of baits here at Orange Lake. And during the spring, it's like I'm covering ground. You can throw a swim jig. You can throw a big worm. Let me show you the swim jig real quick. Florida, black and blue, black and blue, black and blue. It's tremendous for Florida. This is a scound bug. I love it as a trailer. Hack attack, heavy cover swim jig, 1/4 ounce. You don't want a heavy one. If you go to 3/8 or a half, it gets stuck in a lot of stuff. 1/4 ounce, I can even pull it through the pads, you know, around it, and it doesn't stick because it's not real heavy. I usually throw that on 17, 20, or even 50-pound braid, and that's such a good bait for catching big ones. You can do the same thing with the worm, Texas rig it, you know, with a 1/8 ounce or a 3/16 and swim this worm, or you can throw it and let it sink while you're looking and going around trying to find fish. Got it. Oh. Couldn't handle that cut-ar, could you? When I spawn fish, you know, sight fish, I'm using baits that are, you know, light colored. So, because I like to be able to see them, and the water's not always clear, it can be really stained and dirty. So I generally Texas rig, and I love the little scound bug, and that's kind of my rig. So that's a Texas rig. I have a little 1/8 ounce bullet weight, maybe a 3/16, a white scound bug so that it can be seen and visually see it when the bass sucks it up and swallows it or to swim off. I love a TK 125. This is really unique because it's got a barb right there you can see, and what it does, it holds the bait up. So the bait can never slide down and bunch up on your hook point and lose fish. So When you are fishing spawn, you need to slow down when you're throwing it in these pads where the beds can be, and fish really slow. So you pull it up to the roots of the pads and just vibrate it a little bit, vibrate it a bit, and those big females will come in and try to get it away. So that's the key on spawning. So that's lily pad roots. You're throwing a worm, and you're throwing it into the actual, right in the heart of them, and that's where it gets solid. And so they'll build right in the middle of the hearts of them, and you just drag a worm in there and fish slow. So that's a great way to catch them, is, you know, during the spawn, is lily pads. That's what you got. That's Orange Lake. Oh God, hammer! Get him out. Oh, it's a good one. Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at the size of this bass. Look at this bass. Oh, just open your mouth. Look at that now. Yes. Post-spawn, that's when it gets really fun, because post-spawn, there'll be a lot of fish closer to the shore because they're still protecting fry. They're keeping it in the cover. And since the spawn can be so long, you got to understand, and this is what's unique about Florida and this section of Florida, is that let's say they start spawning, you have a warm winter, they may start late January or February, but it's really a February, March. But there'll still be some spawning in April. There'll still be some maybe spawning as early as January, but not normal. And so you have this long spawn period. Post-spawn will start, you know, let's say March, April, May. And then once you get out of the post-spawn time, they get into that cover, they get offshore. And so now you're looking at hydrilla. You want mounds, thick mounds, you want points, you want scattered, you want stuff where they can feed around it. A lot of shad out here, a lot of shad. So they can feed around it, tuck into it. And so that's what I look for, is hydrilla. And that's gonna be all offshore. Offshore meaning look for your deeper water, and you can see it all through here on the map, the deep water, and it'll vary, and there'll be clumps where you take like a shallow area and the hydrilla will grow out. Shallow area, hydrilla grow out. You just concentrate around those clumps of hydrilla. You know, it's like a lot of lakes have all these, you know, you go along, you see a dock, or you see, you know, rocky points and stuff. You go, ooh, they get on rock, you know, and we got none of that. I mean, we got none of that. All we have is vegetation. Did I say we have hydrilla? We have hydrilla, and a few lily pads, and a few other things. So look for hydrilla and you'll have fun. Now you're post-spawn, and that there's a band of post-spawn time, which is from that, you know, basically March, April, May. That is incredible topwater time. You can have a blast on this lake, topwater, one of the best topwater lakes I fished. You can still throw your bladed jigs. Swim jigs are real good. Of course, they're protecting a lot of the males, we protecting fry. That's a great time to throw like the new buzz minnow, the Rage buzz minnow. You can throw buzz baits, you can throw walk the dog baits, you can throw prop baits. This is a constant, and it's got a great plop, 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 plop. Great sound to it. That's one of my fun ones because I can just throw it and reel it, because letting it sit is really hard for me to do. Need to lift that one. A little too big to move. Look at this dude. Is that not awesome? There we go. That's the new Rage buzz minnow. This is what I'm talking about, hydrilla. This is all hydrilla, and that's just on regular sonar right there. And there's mounds of it out here. As you idle out, you look where this quits. We're gonna see how far, see holes in it. That's good, it's getting a little bit, you know, a little bit more sparse rather than being solid. You're getting more holes. So these are mounds of hydrilla out here. Now see how we're getting a bigger hole here, and You can see a few out here. There's a mound here and a mound there. So I'm gonna have to go a little bit farther to do that, but you can see big hole here. That's awesome. So what you have is the fish will hold in these clumps of hydrilla and you'll pick them off in between in these open spots. So now you can see how you get away and it's scattered, sparse, not very many clumps. See the total difference to go from heavy spotted to a strand here, a strand there. It's all, you know, summer, fall, all that offshore stuff is gonna be key. And you can see now we're pretty much out of it. We don't have any. We start to get into that summertime, which is that May, June, July, and the rest of the time of the year. Here's what you're gonna do. Scound bug, big weight right there, which is an ounce and a half, right? Big flipping hook, 65 or 50 pound braid, and you're gonna go punch those heavy mats. So that, you're gonna punch it through and drop it through heavy mats, vegetation, hydrilla mounds, you know, the mounds and domes of it, you're gonna shake it through it, and that's how you catch them. Now, if you combine all this, so I'm just gonna set them here and I'm gonna combine them in my hand, but if you look at that, you know, the total thing is about 4 inches compact bait. It allows you to break through the vegetation, so it sinks in it. The bigger you have, the harder it is to get through. This is small, compact, punches through.
Come on, Rick. Oh, it's a good one. Come on. You got a big fish like this. Come on. All right, I know you're gonna go crazy. There he goes. He wants to jump. But you put a bunch of stuff like that on him. Ah ha 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 ha. Trocar in the mouth. Big old pig. Check that out.
And then this, oh my goodness. This is a thunder cricket, bladed jig, golden shiner. If you ever look at a golden shiner, they have bright orange fins and tail. So what I do is I take the falcon craw and scound bug and I use that as a trailer. Straight presentation still has that little orange flare to it, and that is a butt kicker in Florida. Definitely in Orange Lake. That is a bait that I'll have tied on every time I come to Orange Lake.
Gold-bladed thunder cricket, that's a bad boy. Big old pig.
And this one, when you get out on that edge, so you're now at that summertime and fall and the winter, you can throw a jerk bait and really have success in those outside edges of the hydrilla. When I look at it, you know, it's not as sexy as up north or when you have all your different seasons. You pretty much have spawn. You got some fun stuff that happens with topwater at Postspawn. And then once you get out of the post-spawn time, they get into that cover, they get offshore. And so now you're looking at hydrilla. That's kind of how I fish Orange Lake.
Yes!
Orange Lake, have a lot of memories, a lot of great times. It's a really unique lake for the state of Florida and a special place to come to go visit. Bass fishing's excellent. And we got a Bass Pro right down the road in Gainesville. So come on to Orange Lake and enjoy yourself.